Hare Krishna, very dear devotees, et la nouvelle Mayapur en France. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pashtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharane Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pastitade Shatarane. So I'm very grateful and very honored to have been asked to speak to all of you distinguished devotees today at New Mayapur. Of course, this opportunity gives me, it's like a flood of memories, actually, that come back to my time spent at the chateau there with our beautiful deities of Gaura-Nitai and Radha Govinda Madhava and Krishna Balaram, and many of the historic events that have taken place there. Most notably, of course, Srila Prabhupada's visits to, Paris and New Mayapur. There were several visits, I believe. And of course, the very fact that our community there was the desire of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, something very significant. The project there is actually a manifestation of His heart. And I would like to commend all the devotees, past, present, and future, who've contributed to the history of that very wonderful community. Today we're celebrating the installation of our beautiful Gaura-Nitai deities. I believe this was 1975. Does that make it 45 years ago? How quickly time goes by. Can't remember everything in 1975, but I remember that the installation was on a very cold day. I believe it actually snowed a few days before the installation there. And prior to my being the temple president of New Mayapur, a number of years, I would come and go. I'd go out with one of the Sankirtan parties. And I spent most of my time in the countryside, traveling and distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. But I always looked forward to coming back to the sanctity and the purity of New Mayapur. And it was a wonderful celebration, installing Gaura-Nitai, knowing how dear it was to Srila Prabhupada. I was thinking the other day when Srila Prabhupada went to Gainesville, I believe it was Gainesville, Florida, in the 1970s, to install Gaura-Nitai. And at that time, Srila Prabhupada commented, or he noted, actually, an interesting angle. He said that it's very wonderful that Gaura-Nitai have come to Gainesville, which is so far from their home. What is the home of Gaura-Nitai? Obviously, it's Nadia, Navadvip, Mayapur. That's where the Lord made His divine appearance. So Prabhupada noted that it was interesting that they had come so far away to Gainesville, Florida. And he appreciated that. In the same way, we can appreciate that Gaura-Nitai came from so far away in Mayapur to their Nouvelle Mayapur in France. Prabhupada gave that name. That's very dear to all of us, that he personally gave the name for the community. He wanted that community. Actually went out, and we know historically he went around France in a car looking at properties, and he chose New Mayapur, La Domaine d'Aublaise, personally. So these are all very significant. So he gave his blessings for our installing Gaura-Nitai, and later, of course, he personally came and installed Krishna Balaram. So that's significant. Of course, it was predicted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself that one day his holy names would go to every town and village of the world. So that was ordained. That was going to happen, whatever the Lord says. He's such a sankalpa. Whatever He says, it will come to pass. but to reinforce, you could say, that prediction, to give devotees strength, he appeared in the form of his murti, his deities, all around the world, including our beautiful community of New Mayapur. That's significant. Prabhupada calls the deities Archa Vigraha. Archa Vigraha literally means the mercy incarnation of the Lord, for many reasons. One is that Krishna comes and goes. He comes from Goloka to the material world. He spent, 148 years on this planet. Mahaprabhu spent 48 years on this planet. Then they go back to the spiritual world. But they're in their deity form, which is non-different, they stay. They don't leave. There's even deities on this planet that were installed in Satya Yuga. So Archa Vigraha. So to give the French yatra enthusiasm for spreading his holy name all over that country, Gaura-Nitai came to France. And they stayed there ever since. And it's very nice that you've been taking very good care of all the deities there through good times and through difficult times. It's not easy to push forward a spiritual movement in the material world. There's going to be obstacles, but many of you have stayed there through thick and thin since the beginning, and I think just for that sacrifice, just for that dedicated service, you're going back home back to Godhead is guaranteed. So we wish you all continued success in your worship of those deities. I think one of the successes of New Mayapur is that it's remained there for so many years now, is the fact that you're taking care of the deities so nicely. I think that's a principle in Krishna consciousness. Krishna comes first. And if Krishna is satisfied, we're all satisfied. And if Krishna is taken care of nicely, then he'll also take care of his devotees, whatever. Yogakshemam bahamyaham. For my devotees, Krishna says, I provide what they need, and I protect what they have, and I provide what they need. So that's a good example of that is New Mayapur. That community has remained there. I remember there was a challenge some years ago that we were not able to maintain that perhaps and have to leave. I know His Holiness Bhakti Churu Maharaj stepped forward and raised a lot of funds necessary to keep the community. So this is the real history of the world. So continue worshiping all the deities there. We also have Lakshmana Shringa and we have Giriraj Govardhan. This is all very deep in my my memory, my heart. So please continue with that wonderful service. And a special thanks these days to His Holiness Janananda Maharaj, who by Sri-Sri Radha Govinda Madhava, by their plan, he ended up there during the lockdown. Krishna locked us down in different parts of the world. We may have thought, I'd rather be here, I'd rather be there, but we can see that where we are was His plan and we're serving accordingly. So Radha Govinda Madhava and Gaura-Nitai and Krishna Balaram, I think they had a plan in keeping Maharaj there, Jananda Maharaj. And I've been watching the videos how he's, and the photographs of how he's out on Sankirtan distributing books, etc. So he's a wonderful leader. And you've been very fortunate to have him there to guide you through these traumatic times. So yeah, this is a special day, remembering. Of course, it just reminds me of Sankirtan because that's the whole mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His mood and Prabhupada's mood was to share Krishna consciousness. So yeah, I remember all my days on Sankirtan and Le Breton and the north, Lille and Alsace-Lorraine et le sud de France, Montpellier, Avignon, Nice. I remember. Sometimes I have dreams actually about those places because Those are some of the best days of my life in Krishna consciousness. And I remember all my compatriots who I used to do Sankirtan with. I hope they're well and happy in Krishna consciousness. That was real friendship, going out and preaching together. So you have the best of the best, le crème de la crème. You have the most beautiful deities in the world. You have a beautiful chateau. And you have the whole country there to preach to. It looks like people are very favorable these days towards Krishna consciousness. So please continue as you are. And I'm sure that you will receive the full blessings of Sri-Sri Govinda Madhava, Krishna Balaram, and our beautiful Gaura-Nitai, who were installed on this day in 1975. I feel very honored to have been part of the French Yatra, and I look forward to coming back for a visit sometime, visiting all of you and getting your wonderful association. So thank you so much for Mervishesha, for constantly reminding me to make this video. I think that it's such a significant event. I would have come, actually, had not been for the pandemic. But at least this is something I can make a small contribution to your great efforts to maintain and continue spreading the glories of all these beautiful deities at La Nouvelle Mayapur. I still have my French accent. It's actually amazing. I did Sankirtan for so many years there. I never learned the language. It just shows us the miracle of Krishna consciousness. So thank you. Merci beaucoup. À bientôt. To go Ashwila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Thank you.